Hello, I'm Jeff Siegel. Welcome to our Sunday SantaAnita.com video seminar. Good card at Santa Anita on Sunday with a $120,000 pick six carryover to shoot for. As of this recording, we don't know what the weather's going to be like. It's supposed to rain on Sunday, and that could certainly dampen the racetrack and play havoc with grass racing. And we have a number of turf races that we have to deal with, so it's going to be difficult to really be too sure as to what we're going to be doing at this recording. We'll just do our best. First race, no play in the first race. We have a short favorite, even money on the morning line with the number 6. And I'm thinking that Real Rockport has an edge in this race, but not the kind of edge that you'd want to take a short price on. So no play in the first race. Sit out the first. And the second race is the stake, the Monrovia, down the hill. And whether or not it's actually going to be run 6.5 on the grass remains to be seen. Unzip Me is the pace play of the race for certain. She's proven on the course. She's an outstanding high-class turf sprinter and should have the controlling speed. If the race comes off the turf, I don't know whether she's going to stay in or not. Evening Jewel, the one to fear most, the number 2 on your program, probably will run on either service, I would think. But on the turf, Unzip Me, I think, has the edge over Evening Jewel in what looks to be a 2-horse race. So we'll just have to see and wait and wait and see what kind of racetrack we're dealing with and whether or not we're really going to have any grass racing. Third race, another race that I'm not that keen on. It's a maiden Calbred race, and I don't think there's much in here at all. Someone's going to win. Swance's Flower, coming out of a maiden claiming race, actually might have an edge. Didn't run all that badly in her debut, first time Lasix, so it's certainly a possibility that she can win this race off that one race. She is 2-1 in the morning line over a Finnish Rich in NYC or New York City, however her name is supposed to be pronounced. Again, not a race that I'm going to play, so no play in the third. Get the preliminaries out of the way, and we'll start attacking the pick 6 in race number 4. Now in the fourth race, this race again scheduled on the grass. If it comes off the turf, we'll have to look at it a different way. But I think number 3, Blue Jay Attack, and number 8, Red Defense have a very, very strong case on either surface. So those are the two that I'm going to use. If you look at Blue Jay Attack, he's a lightly raced and very consistent son of Tribal Rule. Ran well at the level last time out. Obviously hasn't been on dirt yet, but he handles both synthetic and grass. I don't think dirt's going to bother him. How he handles a wet dirt track, if that situation presents itself, again, remains to be seen. But I think he'll run well. I think this extended sprint distance is good for Blue Jay Attack. He would be a very strong play, along with number 8, Red Defense, who was a lightly raced, obviously, and very talented young horse, and I think he'll fire on either surface as well. So Blue Jay Attack and Red Defense, the only two that I'm going to be using on my pick 6 ticket on either surface. Let's make it 3 and 8. Blue Jay Attack over Red Defense. Moving out of the fifth race, this is a claiming event and on the main track, and not a whole lot of depth to this field. We're going to go 3 deep using number 2, Cruisin' Topless, also number 8, Prime, and number 9, Tommy's Pick. So 2, 8, and 9 for me to use in all of our pick 6 tickets. Cruisin' Topless is actually dropping sharply in class, and so is Primed, and so is Tommy's Pick. So this is a rather unusual situation where you have 3 horses who are more than good enough to win, but all 3 have a condition question because of the class drops. All 3 might run, and they might run 1, 2, 3, or none of the 3 might fire. I'm not really sure. So hopefully at least one of the 3 will perform. Cruisin' Topless, Primed, and Tommy's Pick. I think Primed is probably the best of the 3. But again, coming off a nice win and dropping all the way down to the $10,000 level for Doug O'Neill, you got to worry about whether she's the same filly now that she was when we last saw her. And again, the same situation applies to Tommy's Pick and Cruisin' Topless. So not a real good race for any kind of solid plays. But if you're playing the pick 6, hopefully you can get through it with using one of those 3 or all 3, 2, 5. I mean, make that 2, 8, and 9. Sixth race is a mile race for maidens, 3-year-old fillies. Again, this race originally scheduled on the grass. Whether or not it stays on the turf remains to be seen. Mrs. Rosa, number 1, ran decently for Richard Mandela in her racing debut. She's got a right to improve as she stretches out. perhaps will be run on the grass. Maybe she'll stay in the race if the race remains on turf or comes off the dirt. Don't know, but I think you got to use her. Mrs. Rosa, number 1. Lula Tallulah is another promising filly, a daughter of More Than Ready, who was beaten just ahead in her racing debut. Again, that was sprinting on the turf. If the race comes off the turf, will she stay in? I don't know, but I think you got to use her if she does. So use number 3, Lula Tallulah. And number 7, Anniversary Girls, had 4 races under her belt. She's got a little bit more experience than the other ones, and she's in pretty good form. She's shown she can run some. She ran decently over the all-weather. How that projects to the main track if the race comes off the turf remains to be seen, but I think you got to use her. That's Hollendorfer's filly, number 7, Anniversary Girl. So we'll use numbers 1, 3, and 7. Obviously, all 3 extremely live if the race remains on the grass. If they come off the grass, then we'll just have to see who stays in the field and use who's ever left. 1, 3, and 7. Moving now to the 7th race. There are 2 horses I'm going to use here in this main track sprint. Number 1, that is Rummy's Secret War, and also number 4, Point Attended. So 1 and 4 in that order. Rummy's Secret War looked good winning against the lesser field. He's moved way up in class by Jack Carava. That's a positive sign, and I think that he can be very, very tough right back. Use number 1, Rummy's Secret War. Number 4, Point Attendant, is coming in from Arizona, where he won 3 in a row. Now, it's significant that he's running for the $20,000 tag here. The horse that he beat in Phoenix in his last race, 2 Violins, ran for $8,000 yesterday and was nowhere. So it seemed like a realistic spot to place him, Point Attendant, in this $20,000 claimer, but that form was certainly not flattered yesterday by 2 Violins, and it makes you wonder just who Point Attendant was actually beating down in Phoenix. So I'm going to throw him in, but I was hoping to see a much better performance by 2 Violins yesterday. Didn't happen, so I really have to scratch my head and wonder if Point Attendant really is worth $20,000. I think Rummy's Secret War is, though, so I'll certainly use him along with Point Attendant. Preference to number 1, Rummy's Secret War. Moving now to the 8th race. This is a pretty good optional allowance claimer. Going a flat 2-turn mile, I should say. The inside 2 horses, number 1, It's Not Unusual, and number 2, McMurtry, are the 2 that I'm going to concentrate on here. It's Not Unusual is coming off a series of pretty good races. How he handles the dirt remains to be seen, but he continues to look good in the morning for Dan Hendricks. Good inside draw, should get a good trip. So on either turf or dirt, this race happens to be on dirt, so it's not going to be on grass, but It's Not Unusual coming off a grass race now to prove he can handle the main track. I'm going to bet that he will. So use number 1, It's Not Unusual. Number 2, McMurtry, has got lots of speed. He's got only one way to go. That's on the front end. And if he can shake loose early, he'll be tough, coming off a nice grass win at Golden Gate. Now we'll try him on the dirt, see how he performs. The last time he ran on dirt, though, was at Pleasanton, and he romped that day, so I don't think the main track will be an issue. McMurtry will take some catching. He's dangerous on the front end. 1 and 2, It's Not Unusual, and McMurtry. That's how I see today's 8th race. And, of course, we'll use them both in our pick 6. The 9th and final maiden claiming race for older horses in for $30,000. There are 3 contenders that I'm looking at. They are number 2, Matamore, also number 3, Viva Macho, and I'm also going to use number 6, Call the River. Matamore, first time for a tag here, coming down from Golden Gate, where he was a decent second in the maiden special weight race. Gary Mandela trains. He likes to sit back and make a run. Let's see how he performs on dirt. Matamore, a chance in a soft field. Number 3, Viva Macho, looked pretty good last time, finishing 3rd. Another first time for a tag play. So it's possible that he has found his friends. He's had 10 chances, though. Maybe a hard one to trust. I'll throw him in. And then the one that I like the most, number 6, Call the River. Decent 3rd in a maiden special weight race during the Oak Tree meeting. Shows up here for $30,000. I would have preferred actually to see him back in a straight maiden Cowbird race. His class drop is a little suspicious when you consider if they thought enough of him to run him in a straight maiden race first time out with that huge purse that they offer maiden Cowbirds. Now he's running for a maiden tag. It's like 30% of the purse. So you got to wonder if Call the River maybe not as good as that race made him look, or during the Oak Tree meeting he's had some time off. Maybe he's got an issue. I don't know. But Call the River, based on his only start, is good enough to win. So if he fires, I think he can win. But I'm not singling him because it's too suspicious for me to take a horse dropping like that. We'll use 2, 3, and 6, Matamore, Viva Macho, and Call the River. Hopefully one of them will get home. Hopefully we'll win the pick 6. Hopefully you will too. Thanks for joining us here on SanAnita.com. Good luck today. We'll talk to you again next Thursday when racing resumes.